what's the trade talks worth? Well, they're worth about 20 points with the S&P 500. 3 a.m. Nobody's here. Too much noise. Don't you people ever want to go to bed? Remember the Rolling Stones song? There we go. 20 points. And, of course, that's where we had the comments out of China. Hope they can create favorable conditions. A lot of cynicism. Oh, there's nothing new here. Well, wait a minute. I thought there was something new. There's nothing about any retaliation. More retaliation. That's kind of news. And there appears to be talks going on about face-to-face meetings in September. That's kind of news. So don't be too cynical about this. In terms of sectors, same thing happened yesterday. All the stuff that had a tough time in the month were up, and all the stuff that was defensive was flat to down. This is again happening today. Semis, transports, banks, lousy month, all rallying going into the close of the month. REITs, utilities, all had a great month, all somewhat flattish to slightly up. So we're sort of flipping around here. This is great. Remember that old rotation story that keeps the market up? A lot of people were afraid that was going to go away. It's been coming back in the last couple of days. The retail, Sarah had a lot to say about the retail. I just want to know, just an awful lot of people raised guidance for the full year. Dollar General, Burlington, 5 below. Williams-Sonoma is down a little bit here. Best Buy is down a little bit. They raised their numbers here, but their revenues and comps were a little bit below forecasts. And generally, they haven't had as bad a month as some of the apparel makers. Remember, apparel's had a horrible time and a horrible year overall. So a lot of discussion about recessions yesterday. When will it come? And my issue is, what does it mean for the stock market overall? So in a typical kind of garden variety, quote-unquote, recession, you'll see earnings in the S&P drop about 20%. You'll typically see the S&P 500 drop 20 to 30%. Again, this is all over the place, but this is not unusual. 2008 was like a 3 sigma event. That was really unusual. We saw 50% drop in the S&P 500 and a bigger drop in the earnings. But again, that's a real outlier. This is very typical for a kind of recession. And the real debate now is, so are we going into one? And are we experiencing now peak earnings per share? So remember, we've talked about for the last 4 or 5 months, earnings are essentially flattish for 2019. That is still the case. There are some sectors that are coming down overall. The bad news is the confidence in the estimates are not very high. Now, in the top of the hour, I'll show you some numbers for some specific sectors and show you where the confidence levels are very, very low. And that's why there's so much uncertainty in the market right now. We're very concerned about the direction of tariffs, but we're also concerned about Europe and the Asian economy independently of trade and tariffs. And we're concerned about what's the right policy for weaker growth. Is cutting rates always the right answer? There's a big debate about whether we're going to have that. Finally, just note, David, before we go back to you, if you're concerned about recessions, you want to watch the VIX here. This was 40 in December. There was concerns that we were going to have a recession in late 2019 that never materialized, and that's why we went down. Look here, we were at 24 in May when everybody started getting concerned about the tariffs again, and we're back up here in this high, in the mid-20 levels in the early part of August. Not anything close to the real, true recession concerns we had back in December.